Hi everyone, myself Bindu Jayadev. I welcome you all to a new lecture video, a quick revision module for the topic decision theory. This video is a continuation of the first video where we discussed different criteria for decision making under uncertainty. Students, you are suggested to watch the first lecture video and practice the sum. If you haven't subscribed the channel Math Studio, please do so. I will give the link in the description box below. Here we will discuss the criteria, that is decision under risk and the construction of decision tree. This is a quick revision module which will help you to revise the topic quickly. Let's start our topic. Decision making under risk. There are two criteria which comes under risk, that is EMV criteria and EOL criteria. EMV means expected monetary value and EOL, that is expected opportunity loss. Now EOL criteria I will discuss in the next video. Here we are going to discuss expected monetary value. How do you calculate for each course of action, or how do you choose the best action by using EMV criteria. And also we will going to learn how to construct the decision tree by using the same criteria. Now here first we will discuss the question. We will consider the first question, that is find the best decision by using EMV criteria for the following payoff table. By this condition, we have to optimize the expected payoff. Now see here what is given in the question. In the question, that is course of action and states of nature. And also there is a probability of each state of nature. That is here for S1 that is 0.1, S2 that is 0.5 and S3 that is 0.4. Now here what we are going to do is we need to calculate EMV of A1 and EMV of A2. After calculating this value, we need to find which is a maximum value. That value we need to consider to optimize the payoff. Now here first we will calculate EMV, that is expected monetary value of A1. How do you calculate that? We are going to calculate such a way that for the A1, we are going to calculate for A1, that is here just see, you need to multiply with the corresponding probability, that is A1 value you need to multiply with the probability of S1 plus again the value of A1 multiplied with the probability of S2 and plus here 200. That means the payoff value of A1 multiplied with the probability of S3. That value gives you the EMV of A1. Therefore, here I'm going to write the step EMV of course of action A1 equal to, how I'm going to write the value, that is 150 multiplied with 0.1 plus 90 multiplied with 0.5 plus 200 multiplied with 0.4. That is multiply separately because it's a simple calculator. You cannot do it in one step. That is here 15 plus 45 plus 80. That gives you the value 140. Now second step, you need to calculate what is the EMV of, that is expected monetary value of the course of action of the course of action. Here the word missing, of the course of action A2. That is, now here how do you calculate? That means A2 values are 240, 175 and 120. That means here 240 you are multiply with 2. It is 240, not 120. It is 240 multiplied with corresponding probability 0.1. Next value 175 multiplied with 0.5 plus 120 multiplied with 0.4. Now each and every term first multiplies 240 into 0.1, that is 24 plus here you will get 87.5 plus 48, that gives you 159.5. Now see here the expected value of A1, that is 140, and expected value monetary value of A2, that is 159. Therefore what we are going to do, 0.5. So here you find which is a maximum value. Here which is a maximum, that is 159.5, right? Therefore here 159.5 for which course of action? A2. That means you are going to choose the maximum EMV. Therefore, which course of action is the maximum EMV here? That is for A2. Therefore, you are going to choose the best decision. That means which course of action? That is A2. For expected monetary value, we always to optimize, to maximize the value, maximize the profit that way. Therefore, after these two steps, what you are going to do is, here you will write that maximum EMV equal to 159.5 for which course of action? For course of action A2, hence by EMV criteria to choose the best course of action is it. So this is the way you are going to do. First, calculate each and every course of action. You calculate EMV, that is expected monetary value. Then find which is a maximum corresponding to which course of action that you are going to choose it. Now here I showed you one example for how to take a decision by using EMV criteria. Now we will discuss one more question, but I'll show you that how the question is framed in different way. See here. What's the difference here? Here also the question is that EMV criteria, you have to find the best decision, right? To choose a best decision. But here see, A1, A2, A3 in column wise and S1, S2, S3 in row wise. Therefore, last question, A1, A2 this side and on top. That means here, column wise S1, S2, S3. And this is corresponding S1 probability, S2 probability and S3 probability. Here, what do you need to find? You need to find the EMV of the course of action. Always you are finding the expected monetary value of the course of action. Therefore, A1 means here, how you are going to multiply? See here, you are going to, A1 values are this, right? Now you are going to multiply 20 into this one, 60 into this one, 30 into this one. That means plus 60 into 0.3 and here plus 30 into 0.3. This way you are going to calculate, and after that the same thing. You are going to find the maximum value. Therefore, here I am going to write first EMV of the course of action A1. Therefore, you are writing 20 into 0.4 plus 60 into 0.3 plus 30 into 0.3. That is equal to, here the values 8 plus 18 plus 9, the answer is 35. Therefore, next EMV of the course of action A2. That is, you are multiply with these values, right? 30 into 0.4 plus here 40 into 0.3 plus 70 into 0.3. That is equal to the answer. Here you multiply, take the calculator and multiply 12 plus here again 12 plus 21, that is 45. Therefore, here 35 you got the answer, here 45. The last one, EMV of the course of action A3. This is A2. Therefore, here we need to calculate, that is 10 into 0.4 plus 30 into 0.3 plus 40 into 0.3. How do you get it? This 10 you multiply with your probability 0.4, 30 into 0.3 and 40 into 0.3. Now calculate, that is equal to 4 plus 9 plus 12. The answer is 25. Now see here, there are three EMV value 35, 45 and 25. Which is the maximum here? That is 45. Against which course of action? That is A2. That means here you are writing maximum EMV equal to 45 for the course of action A2. Hence by EMV criteria, we choose best course of action is 8. This way you can do the EMV criteria method, how to choose the best course of action. This is a 5 marks question. EMV, expected monetary value. The same way you need to find EOL also, that I will show you in the next video, because for EOL criteria the difference is that first you need to construct a regret table. Then we are going to solve. Now the same thing, I will show you the decision tree. That means the same type of question. How do you represent by decision tree? That means decision tree is a diagrammatic representation of various course of action and possible states of nature. Therefore, first you need to represent by a picture. Pictorial representation is called as decision tree. Then we are going to use the EMV criteria itself to calculate the best course of action. I'll show you how to construct the decision tree in 2 different questions. See here, read the question. Given the following table showing profit in rupees, draw a decision tree. See here, they ask you to draw a decision tree and suggest the optimal decision. Use the EMV criteria. That means if the question is like this way, you need to construct the decision tree, and by using EMV criteria, you need to find which is the best course of action. Therefore, how do you draw it? First, you need to represent the course of action, states of nature, and the values, that is in a pictorial form. Therefore, how do you do it? That I will show you first. Once they mention decision tree, if you are going to solve without tree, then you never get the marks. Therefore, you have to draw first and to solve it. Therefore, while solving, first we need to construct a small. Here the basic picture I have already drawn. They will tell you how do you do it. See here, you will start with a rectangle box. This is called as decision box. Therefore, always you are going to start with a box, that is a rectangle box. Then this is called as this circle. Circle is called as node or event. It is called as node or it is called as event. How do you decide how many circles you require? Now see the question, how many course of actions are there? There are 2. That means you are going to represent by 2 course of action. That means here, this is A1 and this is A2. Okay, this is decision box. You can just leave it like that way. This A1 sometimes you will write here also in this branch. Now here, these are the lines which we are going to connect it. From this box, you are going to connect with this circle first, and here this box you are going to connect with second circle. And I have noted that this is A1 and A2. Now see here, this is called as a branch, like one lines which I have mentioned. Now how do I draw this for 3? That means depends upon how many states of nature for you. That is, here there are 3. Therefore here this line represent my S1, this line S2 and this line S3. That means for this A1 there are S1, S2, S3, and here for A2 again S1, S2, S3. Okay. After writing these values, what you are going to do it? You are going to write the payoff values and the corresponding probability. That means for A1, what is S1? That is 15. I'm going to write here 15. In bracket, I'm writing the probability. And for next S2, that is 9. I'm writing the probability 0.5. Here, next 20. And I'm writing the probability that is 0.4. The same thing you will repeat for A2. That is 24 the value and it is 0.1, 17 that is 0.5 and 12 0.4. After writing this, that means this picture you first should draw according to your course of action. If there are 3, then 3 circles. If it is here 3 lines, 3 branches which you are drawn, that is S1, S2, S3, because here 3 states of nature. Suppose it is 4, you want to draw 4th one also. Now after writing this S1, S2, S3 I have denoted, and here the values. Now what you are going to do? You are going to multiply and write these values. Okay, that means 15 into 0.1 you will write here, that is 1.5. No need to write this, equal to 1.5, and here this value, that is 9 into 0.5 you are multiplying, that is 4.5. What I did, I multiplied these two. Okay, 20 into 0.4, that is 8. Okay, now here I am multiplying, that is 24 into 0, that is 2.4. Here 8.5 and 4.8. Therefore, I multiplied all these values. After that, I'm going to add here, that is total. 1 second, this total we need to add. that is here 1.5 plus 4.5 plus 8. That value is, that is 14. I'm writing normally to write in the downs part. I will just show you how to write it. Just write on a little bit top, then it's a line here. That value is 14. Before here finish. Here this is 2.4, right? 2.4. Now we are going to add these three values of 8 to, that is 15.7. Actually, we have calculated here the expected monetary value only. Each and every payoff you are multiply with the probability and you add it. Now here, which is the maximum value? Here the maximum value is 15.7. Therefore, which course often you are going to choose? That is A2. Therefore, now what you are going to do? You are going to write one step that here maximum EMV, expected monetary value, equal to 15.7 for the course of action A2. Hence we choose best action as A2. Okay, that means here we represented by the decisions tree, and then we calculated which is the maximum value, then we choose which is the best course of action. Therefore, always you need to construct like this way and calculate. This is the way and to complete it. Suppose they ask you for EMV directly without decision tree, you can write like EMV of A1, EMV of A2, then calculate. That what I showed you in the last question. Okay. Now here I will show you one more question, that is for decision tree again, but what's the difference? Just see. Consider the decision making problem, construct a decision tree and find the best course of action. Here you can choose by which method. See, if it is not mentioned in the question, still you will calculate by EMV method, because EOL is one more step is there. Therefore, it takes more time. Therefore, whenever it is not mentioned in the question for decision tree, always choose EMV. But most of the time in the question, they will mention you that by EMV criteria. But I didn't give it as EMV, but always calculate by using EMV criteria. EMV criteria means you are just multiplying and finding the value and finding the maximum value. Now see here, first check it that how many course of action, because that is going to decide your circle. Here A1, A2, A3. Therefore, here I started with the decision box. Okay. Yes, decision box. Then I mentioned three circle, that is here A1. I'm going to mention it A1, A2, A3. Okay. Now A1, A2, A3. Again, it is S1, S2, S3. That means from A1, there are 4 lines. Now see here I just completed, means the same line. You cannot make it one here, one like extended like that. Therefore, just give a picture very neatly. Therefore, S1. Therefore, here I'm writing S1, S2, S3. Here again S1, S2, S3. And here S1, S2, S3. Then what I'm going to do? I'm going to write the values here. That is first value, that is here. You want to be careful where is the values of A1. For this one, it is given A1 on top. Therefore, here 200 bracket 0.5. That is your probability value. Then S2 value, it is 600. 600 into 0.3. Students, please be careful for the question. In which way they are given? Both the ways they can give. S1, S2 in the column row wise and A1, A2 in the column wise. And the other one, it is A1, A2, A3 in row wise. Therefore, you have to be carefully to write the values against that. Okay. This is 600 here. S3, that is 300 for A1 into 0.2. Now here we are continuing. That is column wise 300 into 0.5. 400 into 0.3 and 700 into 0.2. The last 4 is A3. The values are 100, 0.5, 300, 0.3 and last value 400, 0.2. Now what we are going to do? We are going to find the total. Okay, that total, that is here. First total, this is 100, 200 into 0.5, 180 and 60. Here, this is 150, 120 and 140. Use the calculator and multiply. How do I calculate? 200 into 0.5, that is 100. Okay. Here, 600 into 0.3, 180. Corresponding values I calculated. Now here, what else? 483, that is 50, 90 and 80. Therefore, once if it is like this way, the figure, there is no space for you to write here the total. Therefore, you can write here the total. That means you are adding 100 plus 180 plus 160. Don't multiply. It is you are adding. Your answer is coming here 340. Here it is coming 410. This is 220. That means here you are getting the values 340, 410 and 220. In among these three values of EMV of A1, A2, A3, which is maximum, that is, this is maximum, 410 is maximum. Therefore, which course of action you are going to choose? That is A2. Therefore, here you can write maximum EMV value, that is 410, for course of action A2. Hence, we choose best action as A2. Therefore, this is the way you are going to draw the decision tree and to calculate EMV values and to choose the best course of action. Therefore, I always suggest you, whenever the decision tree comes, always use EMV criteria, not to use EOL criteria. Because normally they'll give you EMV criteria only. That's why these two things I clubbed and I showed you. So how to calculate without tree, how to calculate EMV, or with tree to represent by the decision tree and then calculate. Therefore, this is also for 5 marks. Just draw the figure neatly. Here this is a rectangle. Okay, that is a decision box, and this circles is called as node or events, that is represent your course of action. Therefore, here the circles, the how many circles you need to draw depends upon the question. If it is 3, then it is going to be 3, and then from there you are going to make the lines to make S1, S2, S3, and here S1, S2, S3, and continue. Therefore, here students, I believe you like this lecture. Hi students, thank you for watching. Please practice the question. This questions normally. Hi students, thank you for watching. Please practice these sums. If you really enjoyed the lecture, please like and share. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button so you never miss out the next video. I will bring out the next video with EOL criteria and mini-max regret criteria. Both it is going to be connected. Therefore, we will solve it the sums related to that topic. Then I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.